Welcome to SOULutions, when men come out of the shadows to testify, giving tips in manhood, honor the codes of integrity, and give out real solutions for soul survival. Today, we have on the show a role model, a leader of men, a man who takes care of his community, also has great basketball programs for the kids, and is always thinking forward. A man of great integrity, a man who stands on his word. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up, Mr. Robert Wylie.
Hey, man, appreciate that introduction.
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Man, I'm wonderful, bro. Wonderful. No complaints. Life good. Everything's great, man.
I know you're on your grind as usual.
Definitely. That can't stop.
Are you ready to answer these questions and drop some gems today?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. What person did you meet or see that gave you the drive towards the man you are today? Who or what defined you?
Man, you came straight out the back with a with a good one. Oh man, that's a good question on so many levels, man, because I don't think it's no one person. I thought I was odd growing up because I personally didn't have a role model. So that was, so that question, I have to really think. Now, it was some people that definitely made an impact on my life. One guy named Hakeem, man, he definitely, when we was young, used to hit me in the head with different stuff on the culture, just, but he used to hit us with, not coming the kiddie route, you know what I'm saying? He hit us with the truth. He just smack in the face, and it kind of was like a shock factor, but it made me think. It made me develop a curiosity for knowledge. So I give him that, man. I always admired certain people, not for so much of who they are, but for the stuff they do. And I always had questions for people. Like, I always wanted to have, like I said, I didn't have role models, but I had questions for people. Like, from the music industry, since that do influence us, so like a Biggie, that was a person I just wanted to sit down and ask questions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Different things like that, man. I couldn't ask this guy questions, but he intrigued me a lot. Like Jack Johnson, the boxer, very intriguing person, man. Questions I had for him was more about his courage. You know what I'm saying? During his times, he didn't really care about what was going on around him. He took big steps. So, I could probably shoot off a list of 100 different things that had me curious.
Okay. Let's all right. Shouts out to Mr. Hakeem. Can you give us two gems that he gave you? Also, give us one question you would have asked Biggie. I got to hear that.
Oh, for sure. Man, Hakeem, the gems he gave me, man. Basically, like, don't look at nothing for face value that the world give you. That was a big gem. Always question everything. Is always an answer to an answer that got another answer. So that was huge. He always said to me. Also, he also helped instill the business mind. Not only did he hit us hard culture wise, like when I was 10. He was shooting them definitions to us: entrepreneurship, financial literacy. He was telling us what this stuff mean. And one thing that set on me, he said, you may not know what this is now, but when the time for you to know, it'll come back. He always shot that to us. He's like, your brain is massive, hold massive information. So when it hit you, it shoot back to the forefront. You'll remember. So that was something that I always stuck with. As far as Biggie, the questions I had for Biggie, first one was basically like, how you was so witty? Like, that's the first witty person that I could think of. What gave you the ability to make others see your words? You know what I'm saying? That was it wasn't the first artist. I may say Slick Rick, maybe the first artist that I could think of that you could visualize their flow. But his storytelling was crazy, and I could visualize it.
I've once heard Biggie's mom say she used to listen to country music all the time. And that really took a toll on him because, you know, country kind of tell the best stories in music at that time. So him outside the box mentally putting rap to these country stories is probably what he gave us, and we didn't realize it. That was so visual.
I never even thought of it like that. You're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah, his mom always listened to country music growing up, and he said that had a profound influence on how he put his music together and how he was able to visualize things, because country music does that.
Yeah, it do. Yeah, man. I always thought he was a thinker. You know what I'm saying? Like even in interviews and stuff, you know, a lot, you know, naked eye person might be like, you know, he looked nervous. But to me, I always thought he'd sit there and he just analyzed stuff. You know what I'm saying? Was a real deep thinker. So, you know, that's what made me want to really interview that guy.
Now, I would have loved to see that interview.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Do you have a vision board?
Man, I do. That's crazy you said that. Yo, shout out Haki. He always put that on us. But my vision board is different. My vision board is different. I graduated from, you know, it's not different. Let me say that. You know, I see some people say vision boards now. They literally got a board and they put they, you know, pictures and stuff up. I mean, but since I've been little, I always had a vision board. You know, I play ball heavy. So he instilled in me like, yo, pick 2 or 3 players you really like. So back then, you know, it was Ray Allen and David Robinson. So what I do, I go get like a Slam magazine or something, pull their pictures out, take it to the house, and I remember either super gluing it or tacking it to the wall in my room. You know what I'm saying? I would put those up, and on those particular pictures, man, they had their stats. Yeah. So I would literally try to imitate not only the stats they made, but they game. You know, they started there. Right now, my vision board is more mental. And also with the cell phones, you know, my screensaver is my vision board. You know what I'm saying? I literally put like a number, a figure that I want up. I mean, you can't see it now, but I literally got a chart right here, a weekly chart, a huge chart that I go off of. I visualize my day. So that's another thing too.
You get real detailed.
Yeah, I visualize my day, man. Aki didn't tell me this. What did I hear this at? You talking music. I want to say, did I hear this on the camera? No, okay, nah, that's something else with the Cameron thing. But somebody told me, man, I really don't know who, but they told me, man, if you wake up and don't got nothing to do, you'll die. Like literally, if you don't have nothing to do, you will die. And I heard that at an early age. So every day, man, I always wake up with something to do. I have to do something. You know, I'm not.
Let's talk the scope on your vision board here. Can you give us an apex that you reached and an apex that you are currently chasing?
That I've reached?
Yeah, that you reached.
Oh man. So I mean, you know me for a while, right? So at one point, I used to always say CYR. I still live by CYR. I actually named one of my businesses CYR Properties, our real estate business. But what CYR stands for, create your own reality. And this definitely had to do with my vision board. Probably like 2010, 2011, I was at a mental state trying to figure out which direction I was going. And I always stuck by, you create your own reality. So worldly things in your life, worldly things is what you create, right? So I visualize myself being at a certain level with my organization, Good Kids. And it was about 2010. I took the route of dealing from the political side, and things ain't go my way. So I visualized it being bigger than what other people thought. So they challenged it. So I seen my organization being international. So I would do certain things to, like every day I wake up, I was like, okay, Good Kids got to do this, so I need to do this to connect here. You get what I'm saying? So that was a milestone about 2011, about 2012, we ended up going international. So That was a vision. It was a vision. It's crazy because my vision was for it to go to Africa, but we ended up going to St. Lucia.
St. Lucia.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a crazy thing. That was a milestone for my vision, my mental vision board. Currently, right now, man, I can't give you details on all of them. So some of them, but currently, right now, vision-wise, what I have on my vision board, that pertains to my reality around me. Our organization, we working to make it huge, make it bigger. It's already pretty big on the basketball side, but we're trying to make it bigger. And it's coming to reality, bro. We connected with some people. I can't even tell you all that.
No, don't let it out the bag.
I ain't gonna let it out the gate. But,
you know, we just talking the Apex goal. You don't gotta give like the details. Just the Apex goal is that we know you still working. Like you said, if you don't got nothing to do, you die, right?
You die.
So this is the part I'm just trying to encourage people. After you reach that goal that you wanted to hit, there's something else that you didn't know you wanted. You got to go out and get.
Definitely. You know, I'm in the process of writing a book. I will talk about that. And it pertains to everything we talking about right now. I think with a vision board, and this is why I say it's more visual, what I've understood is that 99% of people not successful for two reasons. Either they give up too early, or the consistency of it, the longevity of going after what they want, right? So basically what I've learned, one thing we have to do is stop looking at goals as a beginning and ending point. You get what I'm saying? Because a vision board is definitely a goal, but you have people that make vision boards, right? And that's it. This is what I want, and it's it. But in reality, a goal is to make you better, right? And you got to keep moving. That goal going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to prosper. That's why you have some people that, you know, accomplish that goal, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like the old financial mental mind state we had in our community to like save. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of older folks that like to look at that bank account, but they don't understand how, you know, the process of making it continuously come to you. You get what I'm saying? So I think we cap ourselves off. So one thing I'm talking about in that book is about consistency and discipline, and keep going. Because I mean, you could literally master something, but we got to understand we can't conquer it. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, like, it's deep right there. That's a word right there. You can master something, but you can't conquer it. I absolutely understand that. And I was actually around when St. Lucia came to pass, and I was just so happy to see that for y'all and the development and what you do with the kids. But on that road to go international, on the road where you are now, what did you sacrifice?
Ooh, that's the deep question. I sacrificed a lot, man. I sacrificed family, the way I think life's supposed to be. And I mean, I share that here, man, basically because at that particular time in my life, when I first started everything, I had to make strong decisions, you know. Definitely always been a family guy, always about my kids. I have 2 daughters and a son. At a particular time when I started the journey with good kids, I was actually married to my son mom, you know. But I mean, great. We got, now, disclaimer, we have a great relationship right now. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing crazy, never really was, but understanding that at that particular time, like, I like steak, she likes fish. You get what I'm saying? We wasn't understanding our life paths. You get what I'm saying? So I had to make to not stunt my growth in the direction I was going. I had to make a hard decision to move the opposite direction to make my organization grow, but also to take a whole different life path. You get what I'm saying? That in reality, the average person wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? That was a huge decision for me to make. Contemplated on a lot. Wasn't sure if I was gonna regret it or not. You know what I'm saying? But excuse me. But I made the right choices, the smart choices, stayed positive about it, and it worked out great, for both of us.
It's something to say about that decision. A lot of people don't realize a man's place when he has family tied to him and when work is supposed to come first and you're trying to find yourself. A lot of guys just sit there in their sorrows and wallows and say, you know what, I'm sacrificing myself for this family. But it takes a real man to step out and say, no, I got to raise the flag and I got to get out here and provide wealth and generational wealth. And sometimes relationships bear the brunt, but at the end of the race, you got more to show for it than your misery and staying in one place.
Definitely. And man, and that's a hard ass lesson. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of people not built to hold that or to handle that. You know what I'm saying? Society definitely don't give it to you to handle. That right there, man. It took a lot of self psychology, like not psychology, a lot of self therapy. Let me say that. A lot of self therapy. You have to get yourself in a different mind state, man, because man, you'll jump off the bridge. And what I learned, man, a lot of our decisions that we think not selfish, it is selfish. Because it may be great for the moment, but there's no telling what you could do for the ones involved and for the ones who's not involved, lifestyle, future-wise. You get what I'm saying?
Let's dig into that. Let's go there. We talking about lowest moments right now. We talking about the moment where you was feeling like you didn't know yourself, but not just talk about that. I want to know how you got up. This is for the people that are dealing with whatever you're about to say. They need a recipe. They need answers.
Okay. Man, the greatest. Listen, self-therapy is one, right? That's the greatest thing you could do is self-therapy. Not listening to everybody else, but listening to yourself. Understanding yourself, not going crazy, but listening and understanding yourself. One of the greatest stress relievers I did during that particular time, and it's crazy because me going through that, to this day, I still do this. One of the greatest stress relievers is exercise. But doing something like pushing myself to the max. I hate exercise. Matter of fact, I hate running, right? I hate running. I'm not lying to y'all. I hate running. One thing that I did, man, just to push myself mentally, physically, I wake up 4:30 every morning. What people don't know, I get up and I get up and run. Like outside in the dark, rain, sleet. I just get up. I put myself in a different state. Literally, that's what I did at that particular time back in those days. I get up, I run, man, or I go to the gym. I used to go to the gym. I don't do it as much, only because you don't mentally lock into yourself. But when you could find a place where you could get up and run, push yourself, overcome fear, because that's a fear factor that's natural. Your senses is to 10 when you're running in the dark at 4:30 in the morning. You get what I'm saying? So I did that, man. Another thing I do too, man, like I say, part of my self-therapy, I listen to a lot of motivational podcasts, a lot of motivational audios, videos. I keep a lot of stuff positive, positivity over negativity any day. I used to listen to a lot of music, but I cut that out only because a lot of music isn't positive. You gotta search for it. You get what I'm saying? Now, there's a lot of let me rewind that, because I'm a hip hop head too, and it's great hip hop out there. But to the average person, that mainstream isn't what you want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. If you don't feel like reading, I read, but man, time ain't on my side all the time. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. The number one thing with a lot of that stuff, man, life period, is self-therapy. And you have to do it daily. Just like anything else, you could master it, but you can't conquer it. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of life, So that's my jewel to that. You the first one to ask me that, man, and you the first one got that on this podcast. Daily, bro, like daily. And I mean, you gotta think, we talk this real. This the realest interview I done got, question wise so far. Let's keep it real. I don't come from no silver spoon, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, my upbringing, hell, shit, PTSD all day, you know what I'm saying? So I literally had to mentally forget, or not forget, you can't forget, but mentally get myself out of that hood mindset. You get what I'm saying? Understand that 99% of the stuff we've been taught, we've been exposed to really isn't the way. You know what I'm saying? So um and what I explained about working out, listening to certain stuff, just focusing on self, it helps with that. You have to give yourself self therapy. You have to, man. That being the main catalyst to my growth, um, and being yourself. One of the dopest books I ever read, man, I get this gem is the ability to not give a fuck. I don't know if we cuss on here, but that's the name
We
of the
good,
book.
man. Free yourself. Free yourself. We good. We men.
Okay. Yeah, the ability to not give a fuck. One of the dopest books. Just kind of creating your own reality, not worrying about everything else around you. Because one thing that's a fact: if you can't please yourself, you can't please nobody else. So, I mean, you have to mentally lock in with yourself, man, and love yourself and protect your energy, man. And that's the catalyst to all that stuff.
You said a mouthful. You said a mouthful too. Give yourself therapy and understanding that so many people do not take that leap without knowing what's on the other side. And making yourself uncomfortable prepares you and puts you in a different diaspora, so to speak, to get to the next level. So I see what you're doing. You're making yourself uncomfortable. You're getting out there, taking steps on faith, and you're also educating yourself and telling yourself, reinforcing the God in you that you deserve to be there. And it gets no better than that. But tell me, how important is it to leave where you're from to develop yourself to get where you're going?
You repeat that again for me.
How important is it to leave where you're from to develop yourself to get where you're going?
Oh man, super important. You only as good as your encounters.
Mm.
You only as good as your encounters. So, I mean, if you're around something 365, 24/7, the same mindset, that's what you're gonna get. I never forget this. I think it was in St. Lucia. Guy was from Europe. I know it was in St. Lucia. The guy said, "Man, listen, I don't care how many books you read, what school you go to, what you watch on TV. One of the dopest and the best thing you could do to educate yourself is to speak to other people from different places. Because it's gonna give you another, just a whole different, or what the world is. You get what I'm saying? A whole different vibe. And then you literally, when you talk to people, when you encounter different people, you catch their vibe, their spirit. You get what I'm saying? I mean, if you understand a positive and a negative energy, you know what I'm saying, just you're gonna know what type of energy you're getting. But another person outlook on the world, man, will help change your life. And it's important, man, for you to expand your mindset, just leaving your environment. I mean, I'm here in Columbia, South Carolina, born and raised, but I've been everywhere. You get what I'm saying? I probably if I didn't have so much going on, I probably wouldn't be here, to be honest with you. You get what I'm saying? But I've grown to understand and love where you from and help try to change it. Don't bask in it. You get what I'm saying? You gotta bring a whole different mindset. So it's super important to leave where you're from to get where you're going, man, because like I say, you know gooder than your encounters. You gotta
And it's like you're an antenna. When you leave where you're from, you represent where you're from. But at the same time, you also take it in a new custom of you're speaking another language. Now, not necessarily changing your dialect and the way you speak, but you understand when you sit in a courtroom, you can't give them the same type of content and structure and words that you would give outside in the street. That's essentially a whole nother language that
yes.
It's a whole nother customs, a whole nother body language there. You're upgrading yourself, and at the same time, you can go down. Let's not call it down. You can walk through another door and put on another jacket to sit in the room with other people. But at the same time, you can bring an extra jacket to try to put it on somebody else if it's their size.
Hey, facts, man. Let me share this story, man. Like I say, man, I'm from the hood. Never left. Basketball took me everywhere at first, right? when I graduated high school and went to college, so I went to Illinois, went up Southern Illinois. My mindset now, when I left school, that was probably I graduated high school in 2001. It was probably one of the roughest years for the city, right? By the time I graduated, probably lost like 10 or 11 people I know that got killed, right? And so my mindset was like, okay, this is what it is. And now I'm going to Illinois. The only thing I can think like Chicago. These people up here they kill each other. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset that I'm thinking. That's what I see on TV. So I get up there, man, day one, totally different from what I thought it was, right? Like I literally so another great advice that you asked earlier. A friend of mine, man, that I met in school, a guy named Glenn. So I've seen, they rolling up in school, back then. I think Avalanches just came out. They was on all of them in college with Avalanches on 23s or 24s back then, whatever was the big rims, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, what y'all do? Sell dope? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all selling drugs? What's going? They're looking at me like, what? Nah, man. I go to college. Like, say y'all ain't up here selling dope and killing each. What? Man, no, we get money. You know what I'm saying? Like where we from is millions. You don't have to do that. We get legal money. We do this, and my mindset was like, hold up, man. I ain't see this on WGN. Y'all was killing each other, and you get what I'm saying? And that was a super shocker to me when I seen a group of young black brothers doing it legally, doing something that was positive, spoke positive more of the time when in reality we thinking Chicago and guys from St. Louis totally different. I'm seeing like groups like they have dance crews up there, right? I never seen I'm from down south. We booty music, we grinding. These dudes got dance crews, they footworking, they doing all this, right? But I seen a whole different world. So that kind of opened me up as well. Even though I did travel and play basketball, but I was only there for, a weekend and it's time to go back. You get what I'm saying? But now I got to come stay and really have some good dialogue with these guys, different brothers and sisters from a whole different background. So, like you say, man, it's nothing like you have to leave your environment to grow.
I give you one story to relatable with you. Me growing up in New York City, see, it's not about where you from. My suggestion is you should always leave. Me growing up in New York City, being in the Bronx, they kind of controlled our music. They didn't let us hear Southern hip hop. In fact, they kind of made it look like that, Houston rappers are from New York. They made it look like Scarface and all these guys. It made it look, the way they played on the radio, they never said these guys are from Houston. They never did that. It wasn't until Jay-Z did the remix with Juvenile and then Southern Playlistic came on BET with Outkast, we started seeing stuff that BET started showing. So when I got to college, I knew nothing about being in the South. I went to South Carolina State. I didn't know about fraternities, sororities, party hopping, nothing. I walked on campus and these guys, I had a do-rag, fitted hat, 5XT, shorts, and Timbs on. Straight New York. And these guys were party hopping. And I walked past in between the party hop because I didn't know what was going on. Because New Yorkers, we walk.
Yeah.
It was just, I had to learn. It wasn't bad. It was just, I just grew at that moment. Next thing you know, I took the do-rag off, killed the 5XT and started dressing better, doing better. I left my environment and added new attributes. So I am a proponent of that, leaving where you're from to get where you're going and just take in more information.
Yeah. I think the dopest thing out of it though, man, is when I did go, I brought back so much information. Mm-hmm. All my fellas, we used to sit around and talk about all types of stuff. But when I came back and talked about my experience, they literally was like, oh, for real? Like literally we talked hours because they just want to know, you know what I'm saying? Like what was different, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that never would say they wouldn't want to do it, but you get stuck in your ways and that fear factor snatch you up, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people got a lot of fear. I think one of the biggest things, and I know you probably see it now too, man, until I left out of the country, I thought, hey, well, United States the best thing in the world. And when I went and checked there, I'm like, hold up. You mean to tell me you all got this and got this and got that and I'm sitting here like, oh, hold on, they lied to us. And the other part was when I ate the food outside of where I was from, I was like, hold on, this tastes totally different. Tastes way like so. You know, it's a mental jail that's unaware. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of us, and so many levels to it, man. That like I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier. That self-therapy gotta happen.
You got. We had somebody by the name of Devin Harrison. He also came on the show, and we're from the same place. And he was talking about how where we grew up in the Bronx was a food desert. It was always just the worst types of food. Meaning by that, what we had no fresh food. Everything was processed. And to think about what you just said about what you brought back from Chicago reminds me of a small story for me. I didn't go to public school in the Bronx because my mother felt that would not be conducive to me making it where I'm from in terms of just being alive, right? So she broke her back to send me to a Catholic school. Upon being in Catholic school, they had chess class. I learned how to play. I already knew how to play. Nobody knew I knew how to play, and I joined the chess team. After I joined the chess team, I started bringing the pieces back home to my neighborhood, and everybody in my neighborhood started to play. And then it became something for like a year where nobody was getting into trouble because we came outside to play chess with the clocks and the pieces. People was going to get clocks and pieces. It was exciting. It's like I gave a little bit of hope to my neighborhood, and we all started playing chess because they had like these benches out there with squares on them, but no one knew what the squares were. We thought it was just fancy design.
Wow.
And so we started playing chess, and to this day, I hope it helps some people. And I was only 14. It wasn't like I was like a grown man. My friends were doing this, and I'm like, yo, I'm doing this. This is safer. This is what we should be doing. And they, thank God they were open to hearing about it. But talk to me about fatherhood and mentorship. I know you do a lot of it, but let's talk on the fatherhood side real quick. But I don't want to talk about, oh, my kids are beautiful. I want to talk about that you love your kids, but right now I don't like you. Talk to me about the patience of being a father.
Oh, man. Well, first off, man, I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I'm gonna say that, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I think the mental part of it. I know your little man, how about 3 now?
He's 3.
Okay. So it's the stages, right? So my oldest daughter, you know, she 18 now, college. My son 11, and I got a little one. She's 1, going on 45. Like she grown. But I think it's the mental part that I wasn't prepared for, or like breaking into, because you think, first of all, we was raised totally different from these kids, right? So it's a give and take. You know, we're gonna give our kids the world, but by us giving them the world, they're not gonna have the same experiences we had. So so the level's different. The way we learn certain things, or the way we, you know, we got that street smart, so we witty to certain stuff. They not saying they're not on it. They don't see it the way we see it. Plus, it's a whole different, you know, they more technology kids, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the breakthrough of the communication part with these particular kids, and I'm speaking from my older kids, right? Because when we talk them babies, you gonna love them. You gotta do what you gotta do. To me, that's the easy part. But so my son, right, ball player, smart in school. To me, he's antisocial, I think, but in reality, he's not antisocial. Cause I get up and talk all day, right? I talk to him like, yo, DJ, what, you know, how your day went? He'll look at me. Good. Like, yo, it took you 30 seconds to say one word, and you gonna give me a one-word answer? Like, you know, when, you know, somebody asks me that, you know, we all out, you know, you know, so to me, man, fatherhood, bro, man, it make me question. Nah, it don't make me question, because I know why. Like, you know, you try to, you know, I be want to question my pops, why he, you know, he wasn't there, blah, 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 but hell, You know, it's you Reagan 80 era. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
listen, I, look, I think who said this? Mr. Devon Stanfield, a guy who came on the show. He said that he once interviewed his grandmother, and when he interviewed his grandmother as a class project when he was in middle school, and found out some of her story, it opened his eyes to being more receptive to understanding. I think we all need to interview our fathers if you have the opportunity. My father was estranged from the home. After I became a grown man, we sat down and had a conversation. I didn't have any malice or anything. And he told me his story, right? And when he told me his story, and me being a man and understanding the emotions that I go through as a man and things that has happened to me, he became more of a friend than a father at that moment. It's like, okay, I understand. I mean, I see that you did leave, and that you sometimes you had to save yourself. I get it, because sometimes that's what people do. Like you said, they don't even know they're being selfish.
Exactly.
But I think interviewing your father or interviewing your guardian is important, because they have a story. A lot of us forget that our parents have stories.
Yeah. Facts. Hey,
Had dreams before you got here.
yeah, you 100% right, man. And I think that's what got me. I don't have malice towards, you know what I'm saying, my parents, period. You know what I'm saying? I understand the error for one, but for two, man, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so man, how can I put this? So we know what we are, right? This is the United States of America, the greatest place in the world. Everybody got opportunities, facts. Okay, cool. But what people don't understand about that is, it's the obstacle that get you, right? It's the obstacle. You could do whatever. You could make it here. Nothing holding you back. It ain't no white, black, purple, pink. I'm not trying to hear none of that, because what you got to focus on is the obstacles of life, right? And one thing about our community, a lot of them can't get past the obstacle. You know what I'm saying? Or don't have the endurance to withhold the amount of obstacles that come. You know, because if you ain't aware of them anyway, they're gonna take you out.
I'm glad you said that, which leads me straight into my next question that I have for you. Should there be a basic training program like military training for young Black people in the community outside the education system, outside of the church, outside of the Boys and Girls Club, maybe with good kids that has financial literacy, communication, how to change a tire, how to change a tie, gardening, general wealth building, stock information, sitting down and talking to the elderly? Like, those things, I feel we need to do that independently outside of parenting in those situations.
Yes. It's crazy because you're 100% correct, because we just gotta call a spade for spade. I mean, you literally go through school, right? From kindergarten to, well, I'm gonna say from 5-year-old to 18-year-old, and then you literally gotta reprogram and relearn, forget what you learned and relearn everything else to survive in this world. So I agree with that. I was just having a talk the other day. I really just think that, mandatory, you may go to elementary to learn the basics, reading, writing, arithmetic. But after that, man, middle school is nothing but a social project. High school is another social project. You know what I'm saying? And some colleges, it is what it is. But what you just said, they don't teach. That's one thing we don't. Financial literacy, first of all and foremost, is from jump, we should learn that. That's not taught in school, period. Critical thinking, not taught in school. So I think we should. One thing, what you just said, just like a military type learning thing, I just think that when we learn this stuff, we should learn it without malice. We should learn it without blaming other people. You know, I'm super educated on who I am, where I'm from, about the culture, period. I could take it all the way back past Timbuktu, wherever you want to go, Dogons, how deep it gotta go. I just think that the teaching, the way it being taught with a bunch of malice and hate. because you gotta understand where we are now. Color don't matter, right?
Absolutely.
You in a we going into the fourth revolution. So the fourth revolution is all about information, 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 technology, information. It's the more you know. Not who well, it's who you know, but it's still the more you know, because your value gonna make you, right? It's all about your value. You know what I'm saying? So it's an information age. So we gotta understand that. It ain't about this person hold me down, that person hold me down, and made me not giving me the opportunity, because your opportunity is your opportunity. That's crazy. Like I was listening to Elon Musk yesterday, and he was saying, yo, you don't have to go to school. Information is free, right? Do you understand how to search it? You gotta understand how to search, how to research, how to figure stuff out. Now, you know what, that's the type of training that we gotta understand. We have to understand, first of all, who we are. That's number one. Who are you as a person, right? Understand health, because none of this don't even matter if you don't have your health. Period. If you don't have your health, none of this stuff matter. Period. You can't. People got dreams to have a certain amount of money, live in certain houses. If you can't drive those cars or you can't enjoy that stuff, it don't make no sense anyway. So health number one, man. Two, we just have to just reteach ourselves, man, just on everything, man. Like I'm a music head. I know you're a music head. I ain't, so I'm a music head, right? So I try to, you listen to music, so you try to give everything a chance, right? And it's hard when you see I don't even want to call it fake, like just what's the word, man? Like,
well, let me put it in perspective how I think about it. At one point, certain songs that came out when hip hop was on its climb, it's climbing still, but back in the 90s and early 2000s, a lot of music that was made, these guys were really living that lifestyle. And I think they made money off of it. So the next person after them saw that felt that it was a hustle. So they said, if we continue this type of energy, we can make this kind of money. But I think these new artists don't realize that they're casting spells on themselves.
Yeah.
Because words is magic. So when you go and try to listen to something that's not authentic, where you can try to, think back of how it used to be, you can't get that from them, because literally that is not what's going on right now. And that's the difference between them saying, not against a song like WAP. A song like WAP is WAP. A lot of people were against it. I'm not against the record. I was against the timing of the record, where we are as a people, because it didn't reflect what we were going through. For the first time, to me, in my hip hop lineage, we put out music that didn't reflect what was really going on.
I agree with that. I agree 100% with that, man. It was like a deterrent, you know what I'm saying? A roadblock for you to visualize, for you to see what's really going on. I agree 100% with that.
An escape.
It's not authentic. Yes, it's yes. And I agree 100% with that. And I think that's more what it is. Like, I understand and know I can't listen to no rap about no jewelry, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't, that's not, first of all, that's not where we are. So I get that. Now, mind you, it's a lot of good music out there. You may not hear it on the radio, but it's a lot of good music out there. But we gotta retool. Now, I will say this, as a culture, I think we way better, and we getting better. It's not as bad as people in the mainstream make it look. We're not losing. I think we're far from losing. Like, I think we went in so big that they have to make an illusion that we're losing. I'm gonna put an analogy that I have people to think about, right? So you talk about our culture. Hold on, let's rewind. Let's talk about Black people, right? Because our culture is bigger than just Black people now, right? We gotta see that, and we have to always understand that. Even if we talk hip hop from day one, it was Black folks and Puerto Ricans. They was breakdancing and tagging, right? So, all right. So let's talk about Black folks. We was enslaved for so many years, right? 400 or 500 years. and then probably extra 200 after that mentally, right? Still is mentally. And you look at from a technology to education level, we caught up. So people don't even see the advantage on that, right? A person trying to hold you down, that's like somebody holding you down, tying you up. You in a race, right? They holding you down, tying you up, and letting other people run, and they 400 miles ahead of you, and you catch them, right? Like people don't see the greatness in that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we never was behind. We never was behind. But that goes back to what I was talking about, malice, and people focusing on the hatred or what you hate instead of what you love, and it's more of a deterrent. You get what I'm saying? Like when you moving off emotions, 9 out of 10 is not the best. So I think if we focus more on ourselves, we'll get ahead on so many levels. When we talk about fathers, especially Black fathers, we winning. Listen, we winning. I travel all around the country on the basketball side. At one point, it used to be you see a bunch of mamas in the gym. It's a whole bunch of daddies in the gym. You get what I'm saying? When we go to my practice and a lot of my teams, it's a bunch of men in the gym. So we doing what we supposed to do. I just think we got to stop accepting that false view as if we're not doing what we supposed to do. You get what I'm saying?
I think people fail to chalk. I said this before. I think people don't realize that trauma has two sides to it. Trauma creates predators, but it also creates good men who are good people who are trying to prevent whatever happened to them happen to you. And that's what I think we're seeing from the 80s era, where possibly our parents were trying drugs like they were potato chips, because they wasn't drugs back then. It was just something new on the market. Hey man, try this Coke. It's not illegal. It's just something that people were trying. And most of our parents and families got caught up in the crackheads and cracks and all of that. And us seeing that was like, okay, we know those mistakes. You don't have to teach me that because I can see it. So we move forward. Oh, my dad's not home. I'm gonna be the best dad I can be. And sometimes you want to fight. Don't spend too much time fighting not to be like someone. Just harness yourself and talk to yourself, like you said. We talk about leaving a legacy, but we mostly ignore major steps. Do you have a will?
Do I have a will? A written will?
A real will?
I don't. I have life insurance. Well, but you're right about the will. So.
That's a start in the right direction. But why do you think most Black people don't want to have that conversation about the will and having things in order? It's basically a one-time thing.
Facts. I give you my true story about this. All right. Now first with the will thing, I personally just felt like I'm not finished. That's why I don't have a will. You get what I'm saying? When I write a will, and I probably won't be finished when I write my will, but literally divide no assets and send, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like I'm still building that. That's the will part. The life insurance part, and this goes back to what we talked about growing up and just mentally being somewhere. So for so long, man, I didn't have life insurance because I felt that if I got life insurance, I'm probably about to croak. You get what I'm saying? Something gonna happen.
Let's stop right there. Hold that thought, because I just got some information from a gentleman who was on the show by name of Cameron Wesley. He said that other cultures that he knows looks at life insurance as investment. And what I mean, what I mean by that is he's taking a policy out on his parents. His other cultural friends, they take policies out on their parents. They take policies out on themselves. And when their parents and stuff transition, because death is certain, they're able to grow generational wealth within the family and make sure they'll have a smooth transition. They do stuff called PODs, where you go to the bank and upon death, everything is transferable. So you don't have to go to probate court and be tied up for someone else's things that rightfully belong to you in your lineage. Those type of conversations we're scared of, because I think we deal with death so much in terms of soon as we walk out the door, we're feared of anything. But it's time to play their game a little bit and have our paperwork in order so the person after you could just smoothly walk into the light.
Oh yeah, facts. I mean, like, I literally just got finished doing a little class about life insurance and how you could build a bunch of wealth, millions upon millions off of life insurance. But I mean, the story I was giving you was just, back then. 2000, never forget this, 2003, May 12th, 2003. May 11th, 2003, I got life insurance with somebody that was selling Primary, right? Went against, I was on a financial mentally, I was educated. I'm like, yeah, I need this. Went against what I growing up was thinking. You get life insurance, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? That next particular day, no lie, man, that next day, back then, I said 2003.
You said 2000. No, you said May 12th, 2000. No, you
it's
said
2005. I apologize.
Yeah.
2005, May 12th, 2005. I got life insurance on May 11th. May 12th, no lie, I got robbed, kidnapped, tied up, like literally pistol whipped, thinking I'm about to go the next particular day. And I remember thinking, damn, I got life insurance. Like, I could laugh now, but it, I know that date. It wasn't a laughing matter at the particular time. And it was from a group of people who thought that I was a drug dealer, not knowing I literally had a full, solid international business back then. Like, what I'm saying? It was doing import exports. But it was just that goes back to everything we talked about. Even when you're doing good, sometimes you gotta get out your environment. Sometimes, I had the nice car hooked up with the big wheels. I probably should have went and got the Lexus or the BMW back then with no, with no chrome on it, Yeah. But it's cool though. I was young, 20s. But yeah, man, life insurance we definitely need, and I the will too. I definitely agree about the will. Life insurance. I got life insurance, but you need to get it. You definitely need to get it because, like you said, man, it's a lot of people. I do hate seeing, it's still happening. Somebody get, like here this weekend, man. I don't know the people, but I seen on Facebook they had like a triple homicide or something like that. And then the very next day, I'm seeing GoFundMe pages for these kids, for these people. So you know they didn't have life insurance, and they out there in these streets. So, sad, unfortunate that a lot of that stuff still go on in our community, man. But it's life.
Yeah, it's kind of alarming where we can go through a world pandemic and the first thing we get back to is clubbing and violence. It's just checking the temperature right now is rough because, like you said, we're in the information age, which meaning that you can't go off skin color anymore because one drop of brown makes you brown, one drop of black makes you black. So how you gonna know who your enemy is if you don't have that information? So everybody is gonna be with the behind enemy line soon. You got to understand that information and just people who move in a certain way, actions will determine how far you should have somebody close to you or next to you, right?
It's like I say, man, hey, if your network not helping grow your net worth, log off. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta.
I said that in the song, yo. I appreciate that because it validates the bar. I said, yeah, that's
really, yeah, man.
Let's get into this relationship talk real quick. Let's get into like husband and wife and relationship talk. I got a question for you. Now,
all right.
You're a divorcee, so you have some husband experience, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and there's no wrong answer here, but I would love to hear you give the answer and elaborate.
Gotcha.
As a husband, would you rather have a great woman or a great wife?
I'd rather have a great woman, and I elaborate on that. I think wife is an idea of what a marriage supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And I think we raised that way. Snow White and the rest of the Disney movies didn't help it, not as much. And then, our parents really didn't give us the rundown on what it takes to have a great relationship. You seen them lovey-dovey kissing and going on vacation, but when the bills was due, when certain stuff got hard, a lot of parents keep that away from their kids anyway. from a financial standpoint, or when an ex pop up in a relationship, or they don't talk about that. Now, when we talk about a woman, I just think that a woman has to be ready for a lot of different things. And it's just me, certain people want different things in a relationship, but I just think, man, a relationship is almost like a business partnership. Because one thing that's a fact, a lot of that, the feeling stuff could run out. But one thing that make it have longevity is the same thing that brings upon a lot of divorces, and that's from a financial standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And a person just not being happy. And you can make anybody happy. I feel like that. I mean, when you talk about happy, that's just your energy, But certain worldly things, like financially, you know what I'm saying, spiritually and certain stuff like that, financially from the worldly standpoint, you put that in order, that'll help the longevity of the relationship side. Cause let's be honest, if you could handle all your bills, the quote unquote holidays they got out here, the birthdays, the stuff you want, if that's not a problem, you could focus on that other stuff, spiritually, mentally part that goes along with that relationship. So I need a woman. I don't want nobody that just want to cook, clean. You know what I'm saying? I need that full partnership, where we could make this thing go, and we building a dynasty, man. We trying to build generational wealth. So wherever we go, our kids good, and that's gonna take a strong woman as a partner. So.
Hey, great answer, man. Great answer. I love to ask that question to see where there's no wrong answer to me, because everybody has their explanation of what they're willing to walk in life with. And then once you decide what that is and you can handle it, then there's no wrong answer to that. I got a new question I just added that you're the first person I'm going to ask this question to.
Great.
And it's a weird one, but conversations with other men led me to believe that, did you ever have a sex talk? Did any man or any person ever talk to you about sex as a child?
As a child?
Yeah, to let you know, hey, this is sex. This is.
I mean, it's for like an adult, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Now mind you, and this is a grown up show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So where I'm from the hood, I'm gonna be honest. Listen, I got uncles. It's a bunch of uncles. Now, the way I grew up, excuse my French for all the ladies that, I'm just keeping real with you. The way I grew up, they used to always tell us, listen, now it's wrong. I know this is wrong now. But we're just talking about how the mindset was back then.
Yeah.
They used to tell us, man, hey, you ain't a man if you can't fight and you don't get no pussy. We like 8 and 9, no lie. You know what I'm saying? So now, it ain't that they talked about sex the right way.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? They was trying to make sure we was jumping off the right porch, and they were trying to make us jump off the porch early, you know what I'm saying? Just their mindset. But to give you an educated answer, nobody never really talked to us the right way. We was in, us, man, we was bad. We stole all the Playboy books and all the video, we, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I mean, we was young, about 20 kids, that was our era.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't think it's even going on as much right now. Shout out to the parents that do have that rough. It's like talking about a will when you start talking sex to your kid, but it's so important because I believe our generation went in with blindfolds every time. We just saw something we learned. If we had proper instruction, whether you're going to make that mature decision or not, I think a lot of people would be better off if they knew just the pros and cons of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was a good question. My mom, I can't say, my dad knew gave us the wrong answers all the time, but I do know, my mom used to always say, yo, where y'all going? Boy, you got a condom on you or something. She used to say that, but one thing that she did, she always said that, listen, my house open. You can bring whoever you over here, whoever you want over here, because I don't have time for you to go out and do some stuff. So like, I mean, since like 15, man, my mom had no problem with, you know what I'm saying, girls been at the house or whatever, but respectfully, like, you know what I'm saying, like it was nothing crazy, but I think that was her way of making sure that, you know, we were not there in the streets making.
And she can keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I think we need to implement as men. We know better, we need to do better. And I'll stay off the topic of Santa Claus for another time. But now that we know better, we need to do better. Turn to talking to our young men about sex, because a lot of, you know, women are more mature than we are. And sometimes we just get caught in that energy and we get into something that's fun and makes you happy, but there's so much more on the back end. Preceding that action.
Well, I can't wait to have a talk with my son. I don't really now. I had talks about him. You know, they got cell phones, bro, so they see everything. You know what I'm saying? So we done had those talks, but you know the talks. So I'm definitely gonna have that talk. Probably about 13.
Yeah. Hey,
I can't even get an age. I'm gonna say
13. You might have to go earlier than that, dog.
Yeah, I was about to say I can't even give an age, but once I see those signs, you know what I'm saying? He start, you know, making sure his hair a little tighter, you throwing cologne and stuff on, I'm gonna know what it is.
Right.
So, yeah.
Validation from your partner. It's like you win a championship when you meet the right woman. Well, Mr. Wylie, I ask you this question. Do you defend the title? And what I mean by that is, do you compete with the best versions of yourself to be that same man and matured man that she loves, and the small things that you do to make her happy? Are you defending the title?
Yeah, man, you gotta compete. I believe in this. I believe that, and it works both ways. I believe you can never get comfortable. I think you always got to raise the bar, and it works both ways. I think when you get comfortable, you lose everything. You know what I'm saying? I just think that you gotta keep it on the up and up, as we say. Like, so I say, yeah, you got to. I mean, hell, hey man, it's dogs out here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's competition every single day. Like, I mean, hell, women get it. They get in the streets. They get it in their inboxes. You know what I'm saying?
Get it all the time.
You gotta stay on top of your game. I don't believe in ownership. And what I mean by that, owning another person. You gotta make them want to stay. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Just life, bro. Like, that's just how I feel.
Gotta have balance, baby. Gotta have balance. One more question. Well, not even a question, something I came up with. I came up with something called operating at 100%. And what I mean by that is, I took 5 categories and split them up and gave them 20% each. And it's purpose, health, confidence, money, and knowledge. 20% for each one. Every day I deal with it. Every 6 or 7 days, I give myself an average to see if I'm operating in those zones at a high level. So purpose being you living in your purpose and doing the things that you were called to do or trying to find yourself. Health, you're meditating, you're praying, you're exercising, you're eating the right foods. Confidence, you're doing it without feeling intimidated or having inferiority. Money, you know, you made a little money, spent a little money, invested a little money. And knowledge, you took some knowledge in something that you didn't know. So, Mr. Wylie, I ask you, in the last 24 hours, what percentage have you operated in between purpose, health, confidence, money, and knowledge, all into one out of 100?
100. That's my vision board, man. That breakdown is that's way better than my breakdown. I had to share that with my son, like, big time, bro. Like, I like that purpose.
I mean, I'm just trying to spread it. It came to me operating 100%, and it's subjugated. You can customize it the way you want. For me, I operate in purpose because I'm doing the show, but I need to operate better in health. I'm confidently doing the show. I'm in the stock game, make a little money, and knowledge. I take in new knowledge every day, every time I meet a person. But health, I have to judge myself at a curve to make myself get up more. So I would put knowledge at 5% and give that 15% to health. So now it's a 35% curve if I don't do exercise, if I don't pray, if I don't meditate, all the things, eat right, whatever you need to do to get out of there, to get yourself at least at 90% So you can't blame me. So you can see your progress. You say, hey, you know what, man, why didn't that work? I was operating at 63%. That's horrible. You can't blame nobody but yourself if you operate in those things. Or if you consistency, you can add. Devon Stanfield, another patron of the show, he added consistency. You can add consistency. That's important. And those things is what operating at 100% is all about.
Yeah, I'm when we get off, I'm texting my son, like literally. That's his everyday goal. Like
operating at 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
1000%. Thank you, sir. You are now part of the Silhouette Boys Club. It is people like you who move in the shadows to help people like me shine. Now, before you go, we'd like to work in the referral system. Another man you think can come up here and answer these questions and drop those gems. And I don't want anybody that I know. I want somebody outside of the circle, outside of circumference to help grow this talk of manhood.
I got you, man. I got you. I'm gonna make that connection, man. I'm definitely appreciative and glad that I'm worthy to even be on this great show, man.
Worthy, come on, man. Stop it. All you got to community, cut it out. You gotta give us a name though. Give us a name of somebody you recommend.
Oh, I'm Robert McCray, man. Robert McCray. He another brother that I work close with, man. He doing a lot of great things in the community. I partner with him just because of that. You know, he's for the kids. He's a family man. Does a lot of great things, man. I think this here is gonna be a great show for him, man. You're gonna love him, and I think he's gonna love the opportunity as well.
Robert McCray, we are coming to get those gems. And we got Rasheem coming on too, also. So we can forget about Rasheem. We got him coming this way. Definitely. Now, please, before you go, please give any social media shout outs. Say something about Good Kids, anything we could do to let us know what's going on with you.
Yeah, man. You can follow me if you're on Facebook. It's under Darius Wylie, though, spelled Wiley on there. That's my Facebook alter ego. But you know, we drop gems every day. Good Kids, you can follow the organization at goodkidsworld.org. That's the website, goodkidsworld.org. Our basketball wise, you can go to Team Unleash South Carolina on Instagram. See our wonderful kids. We're doing a lot with the youth. We have them from 2nd grade to 11th grade. So I mean, we're doing some good things, man. Follow us, support us if you want. You know, you can inbox me as well, man. I'm always answering questions. I don't mind doing that. Not shy at all with that. So that's it, man. Appreciate it.
Mr. Wylie, y'all check him out. This has been SOULutions.
Peace.
Thank you for watching SOULutions. These are my efforts to be the change I want to see. I got tired of wandering in the dark with a flashlight in manhood. Multiple minds of men gifting multiple solutions of life's journey. If you have any questions, please email me at soulutionsformen@gmail.com. If you'd like to contribute to the overall growth of the show, please visit sheen1.com and purchase merch. All proceeds go to the overall production and content. And remember, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Peace.